Hello, Roos, and welcome back to UMKC. We're finally back in the studio, social distancing, of course. As you can tell, this semester is different than most. We will be reporting from the studio and around campus for the foreseeable future. And thank goodness, because my computer camera was not doing me any favors. In all seriousness, we are living in stressful times, but Roo News is devoted to bringing you news from around campus and Kansas City every Tuesday. With that, we're happy to be back. Let's jump into this summer's top stories. After a 5-month closure, UMKC's fall semester has begun. UMKC has put new safety measures and restrictions for this semester. However, freshmen have moved into dorms, facilities have opened, and limited in-person classes have begun. Around 50% of courses are online, 40% are in person, and 10% are hybrid face-to-face and online. In-person classes will be reduced to 25%, and masks will be mandatory in these classes. Resident halls, dining halls, and Swinney Recreation Center have all come out with new guidelines as well.
Hi Roos, I'm Adriana Macias with Roo News. Campus Recreation announced its plan to reopen for the fall semester. Swinney Recreation Center will be opening with modified hours for students and faculty and staff. Community memberships will not resume during this phase of the reopening. Every person who enters into the Recreation Center will have their temperatures checked, and students, faculty, and staff will need to bring their ID card to check into the building. Face masks will be required at all times inside the building, with the only exception being while you are swimming. The center is also asking patrons to disinfect workout equipment before and after each use. Drinking fountains will not be operational, however, water bottle filling machines will be made available. Capacity will be limited in most of the facility, including the Aquatic Center and the Old Swinney Gymnasium, which will have 1 person per lane and 1 person per basket, respectively. Intramural sports will continue into the fall semester. While locker rooms will remain open with restrictions, it is recommended that individuals come dressed for their workout.
For more information on the new safety measures, make sure to check out the U-News' first issue out now. At the end of May, protests erupted across the U.S. and the world in response to the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor at the hands of police. Demonstrations occurred at the KCPD headquarters in Jackson County Courthouse and on the steps of City Hall. Some of the demands from protesters included a local review board for the KCMO Police Department and body cameras for all officers. The outcome of these protests had Mayor Quentin Lucas announcing several changes that will be set in place with KCPD. This includes how the KCPD holds internal investigations, creating protective services for whistleblowers in the department, and investigations into officer-involved shootings. As this will continue to be an ongoing story, we will keep you updated. UMKC began demolition on the Oak Place apartments on July 7th. The apartment building, formerly on the western edge of Volker campus, has been a problem child for the university since 2017, and the problems with the building are far from over. Henry Gamber has more on the story.
So, what do you think of the destruction of the Oak Place apartments?
Well, I kind of, from what I heard with them doing demolition was because they weren't taken care of, or they weren't kept up. And that's one of the main reasons that they're doing it. I mean, if they're doing it for maintenance, I feel like, okay, that's important to take it down, so it's not a problem. And then two, they can make more of the space. But I kind of like the fact that there were apartments there, but I just wish they would have probably kept them up.
The university hasn't made any official plans or announcements on what they are wanting to replace the Oak Place apartments with, but Chancellor Agrawal has hinted on his Instagram that the university is working towards more student housing, more affordable student housing. Do you think that would be a possible option, or do you think the university should look to perhaps putting more housing there?
I definitely think that wouldn't be a terrible idea. I feel like, especially because I feel like it would be smart to have apartments on your regular campus and then apartments on the Rock Hill campus as well. I feel like that would be more convenient for students because some people might want to live closer to campus. And I know me and my friend, we were going to look for apartments, if we didn't go to dorms, but we were going to look for apartments. And one of the things was the distance. So if they did build apartments there, I think it would be convenient. Maybe if they did their own twist of Brookside, if they did something like that where they had a joint store with it or something like that, I think that would be really good for students.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Last month, the UM's Board of Curators announced that they would be merging the positions of the UM System President and the MU Chancellor into one job. President Moon Choi, who has served as the UM System President since 2017, has already served as an intern Chancellor for MU since March of this year. The move comes after the input from student staff and other university stakeholders. Not all support the move, though, however. UMKC SGA President Brandon Henderson has been vocal about his disagreement with the choice, as well as the Missouri Student Action Coalition. They shared their concern being that this merger risks undermining the outreach efforts and leadership capabilities of all 4 UM system chancellors. We'll keep you updated on the story as we learn more. Tuition at UMKC has been increased by 2.3% this semester, and students are not happy about it. A student coalition named Missouri Student Action has created a petition to cut tuition in half for online classes. The petition, which has a 1,500 signature goal, is calling out the UM Board of Curators to cut the cost. The coalition is demanding the increase be freezed for the fall semester and is also wanting to ensure protection for minority staff and programs that benefit minority students. The university has issued no comment regarding the petition at this time.
Due to COVID-19, most sports have been put on pause for the time being. That being said, we will continue to bring you news from sports teams around Kansas City. Diving into this summer's top sports news, the Summit League has postponed all fall 2020 events, meaning that the KC Roos will not be competing. While the news is sure to disappoint the KC Roos community, the Summit League is continuing to investigate opportunities to bring games back for the spring semester. The Kansas City Chiefs made headlines last week when they announced that fans wearing Native American headdresses or face paint will not be allowed to enter their team's stadium. The decision comes as the team is facing critique over the name of the team itself. The Chiefs, joined by Sporting KC, have announced that stadiums will be open for fans in the upcoming season. Those games will have reduced capacity, while in contrast, the Kansas City Royals will not be opening ballparks up to the public. That's it for sports. Back to you, Abby.
Thank you, Sarah. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Roos News. I'm Abby Higginbotham. Continue to stay safe, and we'll see you next Tuesday.